You've been there before. Things were going great, and then out of nowhere, she pulls away. You can feel it. Her energy shifts, and suddenly you're in the dark about where things stand. Most guys make the mistake of chasing, texting, or bombarding her with questions, but here's the truth. If you stay silent, the game changes. Staying silent after she pulls away isn't about ignoring her, it's about keeping your power. When you stay silent, you're sending a clear message. You're not desperate, and you're not waiting around for her to decide what she wants. You show strength and confidence, and that's something women can't resist. Silence isn't weakness, it's a tactic. It flips the script. It might feel uncomfortable at first, like you're losing control, or that she'll forget about you. But in reality, staying silent gives you control over your emotions and shows her that you're not going to chase her down when she pulls away. You know your worth, and you're not afraid to stand by it. So, what really happens when you stay silent? You create space for her to think, reflect, and most importantly, come back to you. She's going to notice that you're not a man who will chase after every change in her behavior. You've got your own life, and that's what makes you more attractive. Stick around, and we'll dive into exactly what staying silent does to her, to you, and to your relationship. Let's break it down step by step. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just completed section 4 in the course, and these insights aren't shared anywhere else. It's easy to access with multiple secure payment options. There are only 5 discounted slots remaining using the promo code. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or check the link in the description to enroll now before the offer is gone. 1. She'll start questioning her actions. When you remain silent after she pulls away, she'll start questioning her own actions. At first, she may think she's just taking some space, and she might believe you're overreacting. But as the silence drags on, the doubt creeps in. She'll begin to wonder if she's made a mistake by pulling away in the first place. It's easy to assume that you'll just keep chasing her and validating her every move, but when you stop, you flip the script. This silence puts the ball in her court. Instead of you chasing after her, texting her constantly, or begging for answers, she's now forced to look inward and reflect on her behavior. It disrupts the usual flow, and suddenly, she doesn't know where you stand anymore. The uncertainty makes her question if she's pushing you away for good. This is exactly what you want. She's thinking about you, wondering why you've gone quiet, and whether she's risking losing you altogether. What's important to understand here is that people, especially women, don't like feeling uncertain about where they stand in a relationship. They need to feel secure. By staying silent, you give her that uncertainty, and the longer it lasts, the more she'll feel the need to make sense of it. This leads her to ask herself the tough questions. Did I pull away too soon? Does he still care? Will he come back? This silent pause forces her into a place of introspection, where she must decide if she wants to get closer to you again, or let the relationship fade. The worst thing she can feel is that you've lost interest. But when you stay silent, you make her wonder. Silence keeps her on edge, and that's when her emotional investment starts to grow. Without the constant reassurance from you, she feels the absence, and it makes her think twice about whether she made the right choice in pulling away. The key is that you're not manipulating her, you're simply giving her space to process things on her own. This silence allows her the opportunity to miss you, to reflect, and to ultimately come back to you with more clarity about what she wants from the relationship. Silence is a powerful tool because it forces her to make a decision. Does she want to let go, or does she want to fight for what she had with you? 2. The power of space. When you stay silent after she pulls away, you're giving her the most important thing she needs in relationships: space. Space is crucial for any emotional connection to grow or reset. The longer you stay silent, the more you remove yourself from her emotional world. And this absence creates room for her to think about what she wants. It's in this silence that she realizes she's not just dealing with her feelings about you, but also about her own emotional state. Space gives her the opportunity to reflect on what she's feeling without the pressure of constant communication. In today's fast-paced dating world, people are often consumed with the idea of instant gratification, texts, calls, and constant attention. But when you remove that, you're showing that you don't need to be attached at the hip to feel whole. You've got your own life, your own interests, and you're not waiting for her to validate your existence. This creates a sense of mystery and allure. When a woman pulls away and you don't chase her, it triggers her mind into a state of curiosity. She wonders what you're doing, why you're not constantly reaching out, and if you've lost interest. This isn't just a mental game, it's natural human psychology. People tend to value what they perceive as scarce. When you stop chasing her, she feels that scarcity, and it becomes more valuable to her. You become someone she wants to chase, because she realizes you're not just available all the time. You've stopped putting her on a pedestal, and now she sees you as a man who has a life beyond her. The space you create also gives her time to process her own emotions. Relationships are complex, and sometimes people need time to sort through their feelings. When she's not constantly hearing from you, she's forced to face her own emotions, whether that's regret for pulling away or questioning whether she really wants to lose you. Space allows her to work through whatever doubts or confusion she might have about the relationship, and this process can bring her clarity. Importantly, this doesn't mean you're abandoning her or playing mind games. You're simply showing emotional control and strength. When you don't chase, you show that you're not driven by the need for validation. This emotional maturity is incredibly attractive. Women want men who have control over their emotions, who can handle the ups and downs without folding. By staying silent, you are proving that you're not going to fall apart if things aren't perfect in the relationship. By creating space, you're also making it clear that you are a man with options. You're not clinging to the relationship out of desperation. You have the ability to walk away if things aren't working. This makes you more desirable in her eyes. Women respect men who have standards and boundaries. Silence shows you have both. In the modern dating world, we often forget how powerful space can be. Everyone is so quick to respond to every message and call, but silence does the opposite. It builds tension, curiosity, and emotional depth. When you give her space, you allow the relationship to either strengthen or naturally fade, and either way, you win. Space works because it taps into human nature. The moment you give someone room to breathe, they start to value you more. The silence works for you, not against you. So when she pulls away, use the silence to your advantage. Let her wonder, let her reflect, and watch as the dynamic shifts. 3. She'll start to miss you. The power of silence is undeniable. After you stop reacting and remain silent when she pulls away, something incredible starts to happen. She begins to miss you. Silence is the absence of attention, the absence of constant validation, and the absence of the usual routine. When this happens, she'll start to feel the gap where you used to be. She'll begin to recognize that you're not as easily accessible as before. This triggers something deep inside her, an emotional response that she might not have expected. When a woman pulls away, she's often testing boundaries, trying to see how much space she can get without losing your interest. She might believe that by pulling away, you'll chase her even harder, giving her a sense of power. But when you stay silent, you flip the script. It forces her to realize that you're not desperately clinging to her approval, and this will make her feel something she wasn't anticipating, a strong desire to reconnect. Silence creates an emotional gap. Relationships are built on consistent interaction and emotional connection. When one side of that dynamic is suddenly quiet, it creates a void. She'll find herself wondering where you are, what you're doing, and why you aren't chasing after her like before. She'll wonder if you've moved on or if something has changed between you two. This curiosity makes her look at the relationship from a different perspective. The very thing she once took for granted, your presence, has now become something she misses. This doesn't mean that she's going to immediately come back after you go silent. It takes time, but in the back of her mind, she'll start to think about you more. She'll recall the good times, the moments when she felt comfortable and connected with you. The contrast between your previous attention and now, the silence, will force her to see things she didn't notice before. Women tend to feel more attracted to men who are not always available. When you stop being so readily available, you raise your value in her eyes. You create a sense of mystery, which is incredibly powerful in attraction. It's the idea that she can't have you at her beck and call, that she needs to invest in order to gain access to you again. When she starts missing you, she's emotionally investing in the relationship in a way that she wasn't before. The silence has opened her eyes to the fact that relationships require effort from both sides. But the key is consistency. Don't break your silence too quickly. Give her time to reflect and process. If you're constantly reacting to her every move, you're not giving her the time she needs to truly miss you. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring her. It means you're letting the relationship breathe. By doing this, you allow the emotional distance to create longing. The longer the silence, the deeper the emotional gap. And the deeper the gap, the stronger her desire to close it. When she starts to miss you, she may take the initiative to reach out. She might text, call, or even make the first move in trying to reconnect. This is your moment. You've created a situation where she now wants you more than ever. But remember, this only works if you stick to your guns. Stay silent long enough to make her feel your absence and allow the emotional pull to take over. 4. She'll respect you. More silence is a powerful tool in the dating world, especially when it comes to gaining respect. When you remain silent after she pulls away, you're sending a clear message that you won't chase after her, no matter what. This move automatically makes you more attractive in her eyes because respect is built through strength, independence, and boundaries, qualities that silence effortlessly communicates. Women respect men who have their own lives, their own goals, and who don't bend to anyone's will, including hers. By staying silent and not desperately seeking her attention, you demonstrate that you're not just waiting around for her to come back. You've got your own things going on. This sends the message that you value your own time and energy, and you're not willing to waste it on someone who isn't fully committed or sure about you. When you refuse to chase, you take control of the situation. You're no longer reacting to her behavior, but instead acting with intention. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally mature and confident enough to give space when needed. In contrast, when you pursue her after she pulls away, you risk looking needy or desperate. Desperation isn't attractive to anyone, but silence communicates confidence. Respect also comes from the way you handle yourself in times of uncertainty. When she pulls away, most men will feel the urge to reach out, to fix things, or to beg for clarity. But you're different. You don't panic, you don't fall into the trap of overthinking or reaching out constantly. This ability to stay calm, to remain composed, makes her see you as a man who knows what he's worth. Every woman wants to feel like she's earned a man's attention and respect. When she pulls away, there's a test of sorts, and by staying silent, you're not just passing that test, you're acing it. You're proving to her that she can't just come and go as she pleases without consequence. Your silence holds her accountable for her actions, and she knows that she needs to step up if she truly wants you. When she sees that you won't tolerate being treated like an option, she respects you more. She sees you as a man who values himself, who isn't afraid to walk away from a relationship that's not fulfilling. This, in turn, makes her more likely to see your worth. She knows that she can't have you unless she's truly willing to invest in the relationship. This dynamic is what makes you more desirable. The less you chase, the more she respects you. The interesting thing about respect is that it isn't something you can demand. It's something you earn through your actions. By staying silent and not reacting to her pulling away, you earn her respect. The respect she once had for you may have been based on your actions or appearance, but when you remain composed, confident, and silent, you're building a deeper layer of respect that's rooted in your emotional maturity. As the silence continues, she'll start to realize that you're not like other guys. Most men can't handle the discomfort of emotional distance. They rush in, they over-explain, they apologize for things they didn't even do. But you're different. Your silence is powerful, and she begins to see it. Respect isn't just about what you say or do. It's about how you handle situations that test your character. When you stay silent after she pulls away, you pass that test with flying colors, and that respect will be there, even if she doesn't admit it right away. 5. It puts her in the driver's seat. One of the most powerful aspects of silence after she pulls away is that it shifts the power dynamic. When you stay silent, you take the pressure off yourself and put it squarely on her. This subtle but strategic shift forces her to reflect on the relationship and take responsibility for her actions, instead of you constantly chasing her and seeking to resolve the tension. When you stop pursuing her, you remove yourself from the equation, allowing her to feel the weight of her own choices. Silence gives her space to make the next move. Instead of you trying to guess what's going on in her mind or trying to fix things, she's the one left to face the consequences of her behavior. You stop doing the emotional labor for her. This is a critical shift in any relationship. Often, men get caught up in trying to fix the situation, to explain themselves, or to beg for answers. But by remaining silent, you communicate that you're not going to do that for her. She now has to decide if she's willing to step up and reconnect, or if she'll let things fade away. By staying silent, you give her the power to act, and this can be incredibly seductive. Women are drawn to men who maintain their boundaries and don't compromise their standards. When you pull back, you stop chasing and allow her to make the decision about how much she values you. This dynamic creates emotional space that she can't easily ignore. Silence doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It simply means you're letting her take charge of the next step in the relationship. You're no longer giving her the option to sit back and wait for you to fix things. This can be a huge shift for her. If she truly values you, she'll recognize this and step up to meet you halfway. The longer you remain silent, the more time she has to evaluate her feelings and her actions. This time can be exactly what she needs to realize the importance of you in her life. Additionally, silence often leads to the creation of emotional tension, which increases attraction. Human nature makes us value what we can't easily have, and when you stop being immediately available, she's left wondering what's going on with you. This curiosity sparks a desire to re-establish the emotional connection. She may start reaching out, or at the very least, thinking about you more deeply than before. The power now lies in her hands, and this can make her feel more emotionally invested in the relationship. Women are emotional creatures, and the emotional dynamic of the relationship matters deeply to them. When you pull back, you create room for her to feel what she might have overlooked before. This emotional gap created by your silence will encourage her to put in the effort to restore what's been lost. You're not doing the work for her, you're simply giving her the chance to step up. By putting her in the driver's seat, you stop being the person who always feels like he's in control. Instead, you allow her to choose whether or not she wants to pursue things further. This shift makes you more attractive because it shows that you have a sense of autonomy and aren't going to let her walk all over you. 6. She'll realize she took you for granted. When you stay silent after she pulls away, something happens that she might not expect. She starts to realize that she took you for granted. Most relationships go through phases where one person, often without intending to, begins to assume that the other will always be there. When you're constantly available, when you're always chasing after her, it becomes easy for her to think that you will never leave or that she doesn't have to work to keep you interested. Your silence disrupts this dynamic and forces her to face the fact that you're not just a constant, predictable presence. In any relationship, one of the most significant threats is complacency. It's easy for both people to get comfortable and start assuming that the other will always be around, no matter how little effort is put in. But when you stop being readily available, stop reaching out, stop reacting to her actions, she can no longer rely on the idea that you're always going to be there. This disrupts the comfortable routine she's gotten used to. And that disruption is what shakes her into awareness. By pulling away and staying silent, you essentially turn the tables. You stop playing your usual role which may have been the dependable, always there guy. The shift in your behavior makes her take a step back and reassess the relationship. She starts to wonder if she's been taking you for granted all along. She might even start thinking, what if he's gone for good? The thought of losing you can be incredibly powerful. It can force her to realize that maybe she hasn't been investing as much as she should have, that she's been too casual about your presence and the relationship as a whole. The silence creates a gap. When she pulls away, she's likely expecting you to chase her. But by not doing that, you send the message that your time, attention, and energy are valuable. She now has to consider the possibility that she could lose you if she doesn't act. This realization can be an emotional wake-up call. She might start thinking about everything you've done for her, the times you've been there, the times you've shown her love and care. In hindsight, she'll see just how much she took for granted, and this can be the turning point that motivates her to re-engage with you in a more meaningful way. When someone has the luxury of taking you for granted, they don't realize what they have until it's not easily available. When you stop being immediately accessible, you raise your perceived value. The silence you've created forces her to confront the reality of the situation. She'll likely start wondering if she's losing someone who truly cared for her. This can make her emotionally vulnerable, and in turn, it will encourage her to reconsider her behavior. It's important to note that this doesn't mean you're playing games or manipulating her. It's simply the reality of relationships. When you give someone all your time and energy without them truly investing, they often don't appreciate it until it's no longer freely available. By going silent, you give her the chance to reflect and appreciate what she has before it slips away. Ultimately, this is a tactic rooted in self-respect. You stop making her your sole focus and you shift the dynamic. Instead of you constantly giving, you're letting her realize what she could lose. The realization that she may have taken you for granted will bring her back to the table, ready to invest the way she should have from the start. 7. She'll miss you more than ever. When you stay silent after she pulls away, the emotional distance that you create often leads to one powerful consequence. She starts to miss you more than ever. This is one of the most effective and natural ways to make her want you back. Why? Because absence makes the heart grow fonder. In a world where relationships can sometimes feel oversaturated with constant communication and constant availability, giving her space to miss you can spark a powerful emotional reaction that many men overlook. By remaining silent, you stop feeding into the emotional roller coaster that many couples get caught in. You stop chasing, texting, or calling, and instead, you allow the emotional tension between you two to build. She'll begin to feel the void that your absence creates. The initial distance she may have pulled back to create becomes more pronounced. The silence allows her to reflect on the positive aspects of the relationship that she may have taken for granted. In doing so, she starts to realize what it would be like without you in her life. An unsettling thought, to say the least. But it's not just about physical absence, it's emotional distance. You're no longer available to fill the emotional gaps in her day-to-day life. The more she doesn't hear from you, the more she starts thinking about the good times, the conversations you had, the things you brought to the table that no one else did. Slowly, she starts to crave those things again. Missing you is not just about longing for your presence. It's about realizing how much she's invested in your dynamic and how much that dynamic gave her. She'll start recalling the laughter, the moments of connection, the comfort you provided, and she'll wonder if she made the right choice in pulling away. Silence forces her to question what she truly wants from you, and in turn, it forces her to feel a sense of loss. This is the emotional space you've created. Another key reason she misses you when you stay silent is because she's now put in a position to think about her own actions. When you're constantly available, she knows she can get your attention on demand. But when you stop reaching out, the equation changes. Now, if she wants your attention, she has to work for it. This shift naturally makes her feel a sense of urgency and ultimately increases her emotional investment in the relationship. The longer the silence lasts, the more she starts to recognize the void you've left, Women often don't realize how important a man's presence is until he's no longer readily available. By staying silent, you effectively remove the safety net she has always relied on. This absence creates a longing for the connection you once had. She starts to feel the absence of your influence, your support, your energy, and soon she will crave it. As the silence stretches on, she'll begin to wonder where you are, what you're doing, and if you're thinking about her at all. It's this uncertainty that drives her to miss you more. It triggers something deep inside her that pushes her to reach out, reconnect, or reevaluate how she feels about you. Eventually, the emotional distance becomes a catalyst for her to initiate contact and make the decision to invest more into the relationship. The key is that you're not forcing her to miss you. You're simply stepping back, creating space for her to feel what it's like without you around. The more space you give her, the more she will miss the person you are and what you bring to the relationship. The silence makes her reflect, makes her long for you, and makes her want you back more than ever. In the end, silence after she pulls away isn't about punishing her, but about shifting the dynamics in a way that brings clarity to both of you. By stepping back, you give her the space to miss you, reflect on the relationship, and realize what she stands to lose. It's a bold move, but one that can trigger powerful emotional reactions and spark a new level of investment. If she values you, your silence will speak louder than any words ever could, making her see you in a new light and pushing her to act. Stay strong, stay silent, and watch the change unfold. If you're serious about mastering the dating game, don't miss out on my exclusive online course. We go beyond what's covered in these videos, giving you powerful insights from the first approach to lasting attraction. Only 5 discounted slots remain, and it's easy to enroll with secure payment options. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or simply click the link in the description to secure your spot. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now and start transforming your dating life today.